Another episode of the Cattle USA Daily Podcast. Today, we are here to talk to you guys about something that is very near and dear to my heart and a way that I have been sharing a little bit of my story for a really long time as a young producer in ag, and a way to continue to advocate for that next generation of agriculture, young producers, people going to college and coming back to the ranch and feeling so lost, and that they just don't feel like they have a place or understand what's going on, or don't feel seen, don't feel heard, all of those situations. And I am so grateful that in my personal situation, I didn't have that. I had a supportive father who I came back to the ranch, and I had all of these new ideas and all of these things that I want to do. And he's like, cool, let's do it. Like, let's try it out. Let's trial and run things. Let's sit in a situation and hey, here's some responsibility for you, and doing all of these different things. But I know so many people didn't. And I know a lot of my friends that graduated college and were in situations with their family members or with ranching operations that they were going back to. And they were like, hey, I went and got this education that you told me to go get, and I'm coming back with new ideas, new innovations, new ways of thinking, and I'm not being heard. And I don't like that. I don't like sitting there like that. And I empathized so much with my friends that were going through that. And luckily, I was on the other side of that, of like, hey, this is what it can look like if you do have a family member that is empowering and someone who wants to listen and try new things and continue to innovate and just trial and run and be okay with failing and trying different things and failing again. And this is what that can look like. So that's what we're here to talk about today, guys. I want to talk about what it can look like as that next generation of producers if we're a little bit more open to that next generation. And the fact that the next generation of cattle producers is going to look different. It's going to look different than it does right now, and that is okay. It is actually more than okay. We want it to look different. We want ag to continue to evolve and shape and develop and change, and that's a great thing. So here are some things that are actually changing, in my opinion. Things that we're actually seeing some shifts in dynamics or relationships or just different ways about going about business and about life. First and foremost, demographics. We are seeing a big change right now, and we're seeing more women, more minorities, and a lot more first-generation producers coming into ag. We still have a ton of legacy ranches, absolutely, and I'm a legacy rancher. I love legacy ranches, but we are seeing more just demographic changes as well. As far as value changes go, we are seeing a pretty big values change as far as Gen Z values go and young millennial values go. We are seeing a big change. Those big changes are things like land stewardship, sustainability, mental health, and specifically family time. All of these are growing priorities alongside profit, alongside the ranch. We're seeing families want to be able to go to their kids' soccer game while also working cattle. We're seeing people want to go to therapy while also running a really stressful ranching operation. We're seeing more access to different things like this. We're seeing just values change to, I know I grew up in a situation where my dad was amazing. He absolutely worked his ass off, but there were a lot of times that he didn't make it to my volleyball games, or he was late to my volleyball games because cows got out, or things like that happen. And the ranch is still a big priority, but it's maybe not number one anymore. People are valuing that family time a little bit more alongside profit and sustainability and everything else that comes with it. The next thing is technology. We are seeing a big technology boom right now. So everything from drones to data analytics to AI, artificial intelligence, AI, to RFID tags and precision feeding. We're just seeing a big push for technology and science-based and backed technology advancements. We're also seeing some marketing models change. So we're seeing more consumer, like direct-to-consumer beef. We're seeing branded beef programs, agritourism, subscription boxes, and think of these as just like creative income streams. Looking outside the box of the traditional cow-calf feeder operations, what can we do to bring in more money, really diversify that income, maybe you could even approach it as people are having a different approach to a business mindset as far as that goes. And then we are seeing a big shift in this is the way that it's always been to more of a how can we improve mindset, which is something that I am so excited about and so excited to see how that mindset shift can continue to evolve agriculture and evolve the situation that we are in right now of a changing generational gap. We have, and the reality of it is, we have a very, very old and aging population when it comes to producers. Most producers are over the age of 60. And that's scary. We are going to see a big transfer of wealth in the next few years. And I pray that that is getting transferred to a next generation, whether it be a familial next generation or a non-familial succession plan. I am praying that those succession plans are getting taken care of, and that we are opening ourselves up to the fact that that next generation of agriculture is going to look different, and that that is okay. Because I can guarantee you, no matter what generation that you are listening to this, if you look back at the generation above you and the practices that we had in agriculture then, put yourself in the shoes of 20-year-olds right now and 30-year-olds right now. Where were you 20 or 30 years ago in those shoes, thinking about how you're going to do things differently? Not saying that we are right or wrong in any situation. Every operation is different. And the reality of it is there's going to be a lot of trial and erring, and there's going to be a lot of failing. But I'm a big believer that failing is just an opportunity to find what's next. Like, okay, nope, this is just a stepping stone. Now we know what not to do. And so we're going to move forward. We have to try new things to be able to continue to build a sustainable population of ranchers and continue to sustain ourselves through the next 10 years, when we are going to see this massive shift in ranching operations from one generation to another. Now, we talked a lot about things that are changing, but what's staying the same? There's a lot that's still staying the same. The core values and core mission of raising cattle, raising them well, feeding families, feeding America, and building generational impact, that's not going anywhere, guys. Like, we are not going to see that change. Work ethic, that's not changing. Are you kidding? Growing up in ag is still growing up in ag. Even if our kids have Xboxes in the living room, they still have chores that they have to do, right? Like, growing up in ag is still something to be proud of. We are seeing the community. It's still staying the same. We still have an amazing and strong community within agriculture. And the thing about it is relationship-driven opportunity is not going anywhere. Relationships are still king. Relationships and networking are still so, so, so important. And then obviously the land and the livestock are still there. Like, that's not changing. That's still a core value within this. And so we have a lot of core values and core missions within agriculture that aren't changing. They are staying the same, but they're evolving, and they're evolving into something better and bigger and more impactful, and just more along the lines of priorities for the generation that we are seeing come into ag now. And every generation is going to see a priority shift, and that's okay. It's scary. It's not fun. It's hard to look at a generation below you and be like, where did we go wrong? What happened? Right? Because a lot of the times I'm a part of Gen Z. I am the oldest that you can be for Gen Z. And being a cusper, so someone that's on the line of a millennial or a Gen Z person, my entire life growing up, everyone was like, what are we doing wrong with Gen Z? Like, what is happening here? All of these people are failing. They suck at school. They don't have priorities. They care about their iPhones and technology and Snapchat and all of these things. And I used the word Snapchat on purpose because that's what my father calls it. And I'm here to say that, like, we're all going to think that about the generation that's following us, because they're going to be doing things differently, and because things are going to look and feel different than what we are used to. And change is uncomfortable. And in an ever-changing world, we are going to see generational shifts and priorities change within each different sector. And we are seeing that right now within ag. And I think it's important that we keep our minds extremely open to what the next generation is bringing back, especially if your kids are going off to college, if they are going and getting an education somewhere, whether it be college or a trade school or anything, getting an education of hard knocks out in the world somewhere, and they come back with ideas or opportunities or thoughts. Please, for the love of God, hear them out. Listen to, because nothing is more demeaning as that next generation of agriculture than to come home, sit around the dining room table and be told that your opinion does not matter, because damn it, your opinion does matter. And you are that next generation of agriculture. And it is up to us to continue evolving and growing agriculture to be better each and every single day. So it is up to every single one of us to sit around that kitchen table and listen. Sit with intention and listen to one another, because if we don't, we're going to see a massive wealth shift in the next few years with no one to come back to. I have a lot of friends who sat around that dining room table and got told that their opinions didn't matter in one way or another, and they left and they didn't come back, and they won't be coming back. And they are seeing succession plans be put into place that do not involve them taking over the ranch. And we don't want to see that. We don't want to see that. We want families to stay in ag. We want these families to continue to evolve and grow and have a place here, and this next generation feel seen and heard. So it is up to us, every single one of us, no matter what generation you are in, to be that person. Be a mentor. Be a light. Be someone worth following. And as a young producer, I'm going to challenge you, if you're listening to this and you consider yourself a young producer, I challenge you to do things differently. Challenge the status quo. Sit around that table and ask why, and push and question and get in arguments and get in fights. Okay, maybe don't get in fights, but get in arguments and make things push and change, because change is uncomfortable, but change is also growth. If we stay inside our little bubble of our comfort zone, ag is going to fail. And we are not going to see a ever-evolving, bettering industry that still has that American value system that we all love. So I challenge all of you, if you're an older producer, be open, listen, challenge those young producers to go out and learn things. And then when they do come back, listen to them and give them responsibility over a certain sector of your business. And you know what? What I have seen be extremely successful is you come back, okay, you have ownership over these 20 cows this year. You're going to plan the breeding, you're going to plan the nutrition, you're going to plan every single thing that it has to do with those 20 cows. And you know what? At the end of the day, letting someone have responsibility over something and giving them the opportunity to succeed and fail is what is going to actually build that next generation. And if you're that younger generation coming back, I also encourage you, challenge the status quo, but also listen, because our families and the people that came before us, our parents, our grandparents, they also went through the school of hard knocks. They went to college, they did all the things, and they've been in the seat that you are currently in. So listen to them when they tell you things as well of, hey, we've tried that and it didn't work. So we're going to look at this and we're going to reshape it, and maybe we'll try it again, but in a different way. And listen to them when they tell you things as well, because there is nothing better than being able to sit with a family member, a parent that has done this for generations, and them tell you everything about the business, everything about their business journey, and what it has looked like for them to evolve an operation in agriculture. At the end of the day, guys, change is not bad. It is survival. And in this industry, survival has always meant evolving. So be open to evolving and be open to continue to push the status quo at the end of the day. Thank you guys so much for listening to another episode of the Cattle USA Daily Podcast. I hope you all enjoyed today's episode. I know I got passionate about this, but darn it, it is something that is worth getting passionate about. So as always, like, subscribe, rate, review, do all of the things. We really appreciate it here at the team, and we'll see you all tomorrow on another episode of the podcast. Have a good one, y'all.